Hey guys, welcome back to Camille's Corner. So, by now, y'all would have seen that Nicki Minaj came to Trinidad Carnival this year, and with Carnival officially over, I wanted to talk about her visit because it's the first time she's ever been to Trinidad Carnival, and I think it's been like 8 years since the last time she was here. Now, a lot of people think she came to Carnival before because her Pound the Alarm video had a lot of Carnival scenes in it, but she didn't actually film that during Carnival. The video was filmed in Trinidad, but they recreated a Carnival scene for the video. So she's never actually been to Trinidad Carnival before. So Nicki announced in early February that she was coming, and the first thing I noticed was that not many people cared. And usually, when a celebrity announces that they're coming for Carnival, there's a lot of media reporting and people get all excited. But when she announced it, there was very little buzz, and a lot of local people were like, so what? Who cares? And in the comments under the articles about it, there were a lot of negative comments, and people were asking, why is she coming here? Of course, there were supportive comments, and there were people who were excited because she does have a fan base in Trinidad. But reading through the comments and the tweets and stuff, it stood out to me that a lot of it was overwhelmingly negative. Now, if you've been following my channel, you will know that I am not a fan of Nicki Minaj, and I explained the reasons for that in a previous video, so I'm not going to go in depth into it again. Just basically to say that she has said some very negative, disparaging things about Trinidad and Tobago in her early career. Like, she said a lot of us in Trinidad have AIDS, and she compared us to Liberia, which to her she felt was run down and in poverty, basically. And people were really upset at those comments because it painted Trinidad in a really negative way. And there were very misleading comments as well because we don't all have AIDS here. And Trinidad is one of the more developed countries in the Caribbean. So people felt like she was bashing us, and she never really claimed us positively until later on in her career. It was only like years later when she started being all Trinidad this and Trinidad that and claiming her Trinidad heritage. But by that time, people were already over her, and a lot of us felt as though she was conveniently repping Trinidad because it made her seem more exotic. And when she finally visited, it was to make a music video and to basically profit off our culture. She didn't visit just to visit. She visited because there was something in it for her. So when she suddenly announced that she was coming to Carnival this year, people were basically unbothered, and a lot of people were not feeling it. So y'all check out some of these comments.
Okay, and
Now, I am not a Nicki Minaj fan, like I said, but I still recognize that she is a huge celebrity, and her promoting Trinidad and showcasing our carnival would be really good exposure. So I was like, okay, maybe this is the thing that makes those of us who don't really care for her finally warm up to her a little bit. So I was really wanting to see her proudly showcasing the country and not just name drop Trinidad in her music like she's been doing, but really show her millions of fans what the place is all about. Because clearly some of them ain't never heard of Trinidad and Tobago. Y'all, I saw people calling it Trinity and Tobacco. I saw people calling it Trinidad and Tobago. I saw Trinidad and Toboggan. I've seen so many ways to spell my country today that I am just amazed. So I figured, okay, Nicki is here. They're at least gonna learn some things about our country through her and probably learn to spell it correctly. So I was checking her social media like every few hours since she arrived because I was like, yes, Nicki's gonna be posting our local food. She's gonna be posting our music. She's gonna really big up Trinidad. But nothing like that happened, and I came away feeling really disappointed. Now, let me explain why, because I know her fans are going to come across this video and they're going to get all belligerent because they don't ever want to hear anybody speaking anything that is not praising their queen. So they're going to say, Nicki doesn't need to promote y'all, Nicki doesn't owe y'all anything, and that's true, she doesn't. But I want to compare something, okay? So Tanya Sam from The Real Housewives of Atlanta, she was also here. And Tanya's social media is filled with posts showing her enjoying our culture. She was promoting our music. She was showing us a lot of love. And she is not Trinidadian. Ludacris was also here. And he was showing us tons of love on social media, like showing us the different places he went to and the different activities he participated in. And he was doing the most to showcase our island. And we showed him mad love in return. And Ludacris is not Trinidadian. But there was nothing from Nicki. So people were like, how are you Trini? And you come here after so long, but Americans are showcasing your country more than you are? Y'all, Lil Kim, Maya, Chili, they all came and they filmed a whole show in Trinidad last year. And they did such a great job showcasing Trinidad. And they are not Trinidadian. Ashanti came last year. She did music. She was out on the street, like interacting with people. She was posting all about her experience. And guess what? She's not Trinidadian. Another person who comes regularly is Lily Singh. And Lily was here again this year. And before she came, she was hyping up this visit on social media. She was talking about it on her show.
Carnival is celebrated in places like Brazil and Barbados, but I always go to Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago.
Lily was really promoting us, and she is not Trinidadian. So seeing all these other people showing more love and interest in our country than somebody who was actually born here, it had a lot of people side-eyeing Nicki. Now, I see a lot of barbs on Twitter saying, well, she wasn't raised here, she left when she was 5, so she doesn't really identify with the country. And I mean, that's cool if that's the argument y'all are going with. But then why name drop Trinidad in everything if you don't identify with the country? And Trinidad James was also here. He was not raised in Trinidad. He also left when he was very young, but nobody has been as patriotic as him. And y'all, I love that guy. I really don't get his sense of style, but he does a lot to promote us, and he doesn't have the platform that Nicki does. Y'all, from the time Trinidad James touched down, he was showcasing our local food. He was out and about just really enjoying himself. He was promoting us. And like I said, he left Trinidad when he was really young. So my thing with Nicki's visit wasn't just that she didn't really showcase Trinidad, but that the only things she posted were pictures of herself in costume. It made me feel like she only came to dress up, look pretty, and have people compliment her on how great she looked. And she did look great, by the way, okay? She killed that costume and the color looked really good on her. But, I mean, you come to Trinidad for Carnival, you claim you're Trini to the bone and all of that, but the only thing you post are pictures of yourself and you don't showcase anything about the country? I mean, come on. And this is where the comparisons have to come in again. A lot of people were comparing her to Rihanna because Rihanna reps Barbados hard, okay? She doesn't just name drop them in her music. She goes back regularly, she does charity work there, she does speaking engagements there. Y'all, Rihanna is Bajan to the bone. She has like single-handedly done so much for Barbados tourism that they've named a street after her and they made her an ambassador to the country. But the Trinidad government has never really recognized Nicki like that because she hasn't done anything like that in Trinidad. Now, I keep seeing the barbs bringing up that Nicki donated to flood victims in Trinidad in 2018. And that is the only thing they can point to that Nicki has done for Trinidad. In her entire career, she has never really done anything, but she has profited from our culture. But a year ago, she suddenly decides to donate to flood victims, and the barbs are acting as though she single-handedly rescued Trinidad from certain doom or something. And what gets me really angry is seeing some of these barbs saying that we begged Nicki for money. Nobody begged Nicki for anything. Trinidad is a very proud country. We don't beg. And in fact, when she announced on social media that she was going to donate, the government actually told her, we have things handled. We don't need you to donate. But if you want to, you can donate directly to individual people or to an NGO or whatever. But the government said they weren't getting involved because they have things under control. They literally told her, we don't need it. So to see people going on Twitter and actually having the nerve to type that we begged Nicki Minaj for money, that shit gets me so hot. Like, are you all crazy? We have CARICOM neighbors to reach out to for help in natural disasters if we need it. Why on earth would we beg Nicki Minaj for money? Y'all need to have several damn seats and don't make me cuss. Y'all, the hypocrisy of the barbs is so outstanding that when Cardi B donated to Nigeria recently, they all said she only did it for publicity or for a tax write-off. But when Nicki donates somewhere, they praise her for it. So why isn't it the same standard for everybody? That's what I can't take with these barbs. I swear they're the most delusional fan base in the world. To them, it's like Nicki Minaj can do no wrong. And I don't understand that. I mean, you can be a fan of somebody, but you can still criticize them if they do something you don't agree with. But to Nicki Minaj's fans, they don't care. They praise her every move, right, wrong, or indifferent. And speaking of Cardi B, because it's difficult these days to speak of one without mentioning the other, Cardi B also visited Trinidad during Carnival season in 2018, and she promoted the hell out of that visit. She didn't stay for the parade because she was booked, but for the time she was here, she was the most down-to-earth and relatable person. She didn't stay on top of a truck and shout down to her fans. Cardi B actually was among the people. She interacted with people, and people were so excited she was coming, they organized a whole cultural showcase for her at the airport. But Nicki came, and from what I saw, she didn't really interact with anyone. She stayed on top of a truck, away from everybody, and her husband, y'all, he was rude as fuck. Y'all, while one of our soca artists was performing, he reached out to Nicki, probably to hype her up because she was just standing there. I mean, who goes to Carnival and they just stand there? Like she wasn't dancing or anything. So Iowa George, who is our reigning soca monarch king, he reached out to her, most likely to, get her to dance and stuff and stop being so stiff. And Kenny had the nerve to push his hand out of the way. Y'all, look at this. Y'all, that was rude as hell. I mean, Iowa George might not be as big a celebrity as Nicki Minaj, but he's our celebrity. So have some respect. Kenny didn't have to treat him like that. Kenny acted like Iowa was trying to assault Nicki or something. But he was just trying to get her to move and to dance and to free up because that is what Carnival is. And she was just standing there like a robot. And it looked bad. It looked like she didn't want to be there. So Kenny treating Iowa like that, it was rude as hell. It was embarrassing. It was disrespectful. And Nicki should have just left that man home. I mean, who the hell do you think you are? And y'all, Trinis are pissed off about it. But the barbs, as usual, they're caping like they do, and they're saying he was just trying to protect Nicki. And I'm like, protect her from what? A performer literally performing next to y'all? He knew full well who Iowa was, and I'm sorry, but quite frankly, y'all, Kenny is more of a threat than Iowa, okay? The man is a convicted sex offender and a murderer, so if Nicki needed protection from anybody on that truck, it was her own damn husband. I'm just saying. And I mean, people were already side-eyeing Nicki over this dry-ass visit, but she lost even more of her support here because of her rude husband. And y'all, his attitude the entire time was sour as hell. He was just standing there hovering over her like a possessive bodyguard or something. And I was like, Nicki girl, just blink twice if you're being held against your will, because that ain't normal. Okay? Anyway, y'all Trinis are roasting Kenny, and the comments and the memes, they're vicious. Y'all check it out. So, summing up this whole visit, y'all, I think Nicki only came so she could take pretty pictures and show off on Instagram. And I see people saying that she actually came with a professional camera crew, so she might have been filming a music video or a documentary or something. I don't know how true that is, but if it is true, that's even more upsetting because it means yet again she only came when she could profit something from it, using our culture for profit. So I was not impressed. A lot of Trinis were not here for this visit. I think Ludacris and Tanya Sam did a stellar job in showcasing us, and they showed us more love than somebody who was actually born here. And I'm sure their fans know how to spell Trinidad and Tobago now. And I know I'm gonna get bashed for this video when the barbs come across it, but I don't really care who says I'm a hater, okay? I guess that means a lot of Trinidadians are haters. But we show love to people who show us love, and a lot of us feel like Nicki only does that when it's convenient to her. But she looked fabulous though, and I guess that was the point of her coming, to just show everybody how fabulous she can look in a carnival costume. But anyway, y'all, tell me what you think about Nicki's carnival visit in the comments. Except the barbs. I don't care what y'all think because y'all are incapable of seeing any fault in your queen. So y'all stay out of my comments. Bye guys, and thanks for watching.